think so. I think the leadership is starting to emerge. The guys are having fun. The tempo's been good. They've bought in, and I think so. I think they're gonna do well this summer. Hopefully getting Deshaun back will be big. He's done a great job this spring of taking mental reps and being there and help tutoring those younger guys. But then they'll have an opportunity to get him back in the huddle, making the calls and pushing those guys. And everybody knows the natural leadership skills that he has that he's going to be able to bring once he's participating each and every day. So I think so. But again, we got a long time until we play. There's a lot of things that have to go. There's still some transformation that has to take place. There's still a lot of growth, especially for those young guys that just came in. They got to hit that weight room and they got to be ready to play. So there's still a lot of things that have to take place. But I like the spirit. I think they got a willingness to work, and I think the leadership is going to carry them this summer.
You talk a lot about the young offensive line and the young quarterbacks, but how have Travis Thompson and Shadell Bell done this spring?
I tell you, Travis has done a really, really good job. Coming off of a redshirt year, you're over on scout team, you don't get quite as many reps, so he's done a good job of picking up the playbook. He's made some competitive plays, so he's made strides. Shadell, it's kind of that wide-eyed look a little bit, but you see that there's some natural ability there. I think he's caught just about every ball that's been thrown to him, but getting him to be consistent in his assignments and understanding what he's doing, picking up the speed of his play, that's going to be big for him this summer. And a lot of that comes at that position just with confidence and taking reps and knowing what you're doing so that you can play fast.
On the surface, it looks like you have more depth at running back than maybe in, recent memory.
Let's knock on wood on that one.
Is that the way you see it, and is it wide open going into the ball?
I think it's still wide open. I tell you what, Zach Brooks has had a heck of a last couple practices. He's really started to assert himself. I think he's feeling a lot more confident, so he's going to push Wayne. Wayne was starting to try and separate himself, but Zach is starting to close that gap, and Tyshawn's looking more confident every day, and CJ's back, taking reps, and then you get Adam back. So obviously we hadn't even seen Adam in spring, and then CJ Fuller, like I said, he's been a very, very pleasant surprise. So it's good to have depth, competitive depth, and again, you need it at that position because it's a physical game, and again, we're a two-back oriented downhill running team. We like to run those guys between the tackles, so they got to hold up. So you got to have depth, but key is making sure that they all have a little bit of flavor that they bring, but there's not a whole lot of difference in terms of the productivity when they get out.